Karmic lesson, marriage. All right. This one, we have to go back to the idea of us being programs. For those who understand, you know, programming, computer science kind of world, you will understand that not every program can be joined. And if you understand computer science, you realize that you understand that, well, you don't have to understand computer science. You just have to have a computer, right? And know your operating system, right? You can change a file from Excel to Word, for instance, but you cannot necessarily marry Excel with Word in that way. What does that look like? You can convert files from one type to the other, but you cannot join them like that. So not every program is meant to be joined. And when you look at other programs, like whatever program, let's say you cannot join open with close. So what do you expect it to do exactly, this functionality? If you were to marry open kind of program and a closed kind of a program together, what do you expect to achieve with that marriage? Because essentially marriage is a join. It's a join kind of statement. You're combining one program to the other. But then the question is, for what purpose? Remember, God created you for a purpose. Every program has to have a purpose. So if you're using a program or a joint statement like marriage, or a program called marriage, whatever concept it is, what is the intention of that marriage? What are you hoping to achieve with that marriage? And you should ask yourself, how many programs if you look at we're not necessarily exactly like that, but we are really, because I'm defragmentation, so there is a close somewhere there, out there is an open person out there. So I'm just asking, in terms of, if I were to join with antivirus, for instance, right? What do you hope to achieve? What does God hope to achieve with that kind of a join, that counterpart? He understands that antivirus will make my life easier as defragmentation by first going in there and taking care of the viruses first before I run. That way, when I run, I don't need to go through files which are corrupted. I run smoothly. So essentially, antivirus is there to make my life easier. By being himself, being an antivirus program, antivirus is capable of making my life easier. And for me, on the flip side, if I run before antivirus run, I am also capable of making antivirus run smoother. Because when I run and put the system into solid state, that is, it has been unpacked and packed back to its original solid state, it means when antivirus has to run, he's going to either not get any bugs or a few bugs. Or what is it? Not bugs, but I mean viruses. Similarly with debugger. When God joins me with debug, what's the idea? The idea is debugger will run first. If he runs first, I, as defragmentation, won't need to go through programs with bugs. It will be easier for me to resolve a block of a program because it won't have bugs, and maybe it won't even have viruses, it won't have anything, right? Therefore, my job is smoother. I'm able to resolve, unpack, and pack that block faster because there's nothing wrong with it. Somebody else has already taken care of the nitty gritty of that program. And similarly, I do the same thing for him. If I run first, I'm able to put back the program that he's going to come and work on back to its solid original state. That is how it was intended to work in the first place. Therefore, when he comes, he's not going to find any bugs, right? The same thing with um, troubleshooter. If troubleshooter runs before me, troubleshooter is able to expose all the issues in the system, right? And as he exposes all the issues in the system, father or someone who has access to manually resolve those issues is able to go in there and resolve those issues. By the time I run, the system is already in solid state, sort of, because of troubleshooter has run and the issues have been resolved. The same thing as storage. Storage needs to be part of my job because I need to access him to get all the programs, right? And when he's efficient in his way, he allows me to have access to him in that way. I'm able to get to all the programs and do what I need to do, and therefore make the system solid. And if I run and I resolve the system to its solid original state, storage is not going to have things which are not necessary, which don't need to be there. He's not going to have viruses, he's not going to have bugs, he's not going to have a lot of rubbish in there. Because where will that be? I would have discarded all that rubbish into recycle bin, where the rubbish needs to be. All that information which is no longer necessary needs to be. And I need recycle bin to allow himself to be used by me in order for me to be able to dump all the things that are no longer necessary in a storage environment into him so that he can recycle it. That's why that is a marriage. That's when you get a good marriage of purpose. This is why you join programs. So, in this current physical world, if you were to go and join close with edit, what do you hope to get from that marriage? What do you think is going to happen? Edit is just able to edit. Close the program or the application. Or the file. So let's just say talk about editing, right? If I wanted to edit a file and I'm married to close file, edit will keep trying to edit the file while close is trying to close that file. Imagine what's going on there. But if you marry edit with file program, right? If you marry file itself as a program, you marry it to edit, it makes sense. You marry it to close, it makes sense. You marry it to open, it makes sense. You marry it to save, it makes sense. But do you marry, save, and close? I don't know. What do you hope to? What's the purpose? What would be the purpose for that program? So, not every program is meant to be joined to the other programs. And not every program is meant to be joined at all. Only specific programs are meant to be joined. And joining is usually meant for uh, mission type of purpose, kind of a. If you think about it in terms of programming, when do you need to join? Even let's talk about reporting. When do you need to join a field together, right? Because you hope to achieve a certain level of reporting, then you will join some fields or something like that, right? Because you want some information to display a certain way. You want to join the information together, to marry the information, right? So it's the same thing. You have a purpose behind that joining, and you're looking at whether or not this can be married to each other. Otherwise, you find yourself having to be like, that database where I'm getting this information and that database that where I'm getting this information are not linked. Therefore, I'm going to have to retrieve information in this database and retrieve information in that database and put them out in some other database and join it there. Right? You could have such a scenario. But in terms of programs as well, is that if the main purpose of of every program is to run their own program, to run their own purpose program without interfering with others. Therefore, God is not going, okay, I don't like saying God is not going to do something. I'm just saying when God decides to join the programs, it would be for a good reason, not just because, oh, you know, I want that one and that one to go together. I mean, so marriage is not a thing. To be honest, it's more like I think in spirit terms they call it you are joined together. They don't call it you're married to each other. In the physical, we would call it marriage, right? In the spirit, we will call it, is it join? Yeah, I think they call it join. That's because of the spirit world is a programming environment like that. It's a program environment like that. So the terms sometimes which are used are actually very much aligned with programming language. It's like when I meet uh, someone and we come together, it will be called a join. All the boyfriends and girlfriends that you've had, you joined with them. And you wonder why it didn't work. Because you were busy trying to open a file, and she was busy trying to close it. And you're wondering why you're so miserable in that relationship. Because spiritually, you don't understand who you are. If you knew who you are spiritually, you'll be able to identify a program that works with you or that could be joined with you like that. This is why marriage is always good idea when it's, what do they call it? I don't know what's the word, right? But it's something by God. It's like it's blessed by God, or is it ordained by God or something like that? I'm not sure if I want to use that word, but when it's blessed by God, in this is why they say this marriage was blessed by God from the heavens, in the heavens or something like that, is that the programmer, God the creator himself, blessed that marriage. That is, he created that unity in heaven itself, in spirit itself. That is, you are already joined. When I came with my counterparts here, we were already joined. The other counterparts that are here, that I found here, we are already joined. In spirit, we are joined. We don't join here just because of we're in the physical and someone looks good, sexy and whatnot, and we're like, oh yeah, I think I can join with that one. Why? Because she's sexy. No, you join for a purpose. What is your purpose? What is the mission? What do you hope to achieve with this joining? If you knew who you really are, you would know that you're not missing anything from joining with anybody because you are complete in your program. You are complete in your program. You are complete in your spirit is programmed on its own. Unless you're split into twin flame, yes, twin souls, yes, right? Then you might have to come back to yourself and join again, not join, but merge again with your other self. But we run as complete and solid programs. It's like when you want to join with another program, if you looked at it as blocks, as being blocks, it means what you're saying is you want to merge one block with the other. You want to combine one block with the other and make it a bigger block, right? That is, you bringing close and open together. And either they become a bigger block, that is, one is able to operate while the other one is operating, or they have to merge into each other. That is, they're still the same size block. However, this block is able to do two things at the same time as well. But it's confused now because when is it closing and when is it opening? Perhaps in future you could find a scenario where open and close might work together. I don't know. Father is very creative like that. And that would be a mission. Some open program out there and some closed program out there will be sent out to come in and merge and join for the purpose of a specific mission. And the question is, what is that mission? What is it? What is that intention of joining two programs together? Because once you start joining programs together, which are not supposed to be joined together, this is where you create that friction. And that friction, what does it do? It creates a loss of energy in the system. This is why your machine starts heating up. Your machine starts going, woo, because of there's a loss of energy. It heats up for that reason. Because people are busy getting involved in other people's spirits. People are busy getting involved in other people's purposes. People are busy getting involved and doing getting their not minding their own business, not minding their own programs, not minding their own spirit. Oh no, but he's my wife, she's my wife. So you're not supposed to be minding her spirit. Let her be. Oh, he's my husband. He can't go anywhere he wants. Yes, he can. You must ask yourself, why doesn't your husband want to hang around you in the first place? Why? Because you're not meant to be together. You are creating friction in him. And he's seeing it as, it's time for me to bounce. Maybe let me go and chill with my friends who are my soulmates, who we gel well. We can work together, because we're not joined in that way. So they're not going to fragment me because, you know, even if they do, I won't keep them around. I'll change and I'll find a new group of friends who are not going to fragment me, but are going to allow me to run my own program in my own way. I'm married to him. He must be here. He must be with me. No, he doesn't. You forced something that was not meant to be. And this is where now I said, these fuckers in this environment, or physical environment, they made it seem like this is a good joy. By what? Oh, it was blessed by some fucking priest out there. Ah, okay. No, the priest is not a fucking programmer. He's not the programmer. I mean, he may be a programmer, but he's not the creator programmer. All he's going to do is just tell you some incantations of some spell of you are joined with this person till death do you apart, and you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You don't realize that it just spelled you right there. And this is why when you have to separate from this person, it's such a tough mission. It's a split of your soul. You feel so torn. Ask the people who've been married what happens to them when they divorce. How painful that is. So wise. Because you fucking wrapped yourself around. They wrapped you with some spell. Listen to those words. They are a spell. You wrapped yourself, actually, not the priest. I think it's the person who says it, right? What do they say? Yeah, I think it's the person. I promise to do this and I promise to do that, and what till death do us apart. You're spelling yourself there. You're attaching yourself to this person, and this person is attaching themselves to you. This is why they make you do it. So that they can avoid the bloody karma. And they'll be like, yes, I'm blessing this marriage, blah, 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 blah. And you go off thinking, oh, yeah, I married in a church, therefore my marriage is sacred. You mean the spell they put on you is sacred? Okay, okay. And you wonder why you can't split from this person. Why you have such fear when you split with this person. I don't have fear whether or not I'm with my counterparts or not. I don't. Because I understand their role in my life, their role in my purpose, their role in my mission. That they should be able to run their programs without me. And therefore I should be able to run my program without them. We are solid in that way. And I don't feel any type of way leaving them behind. I don't. If I want father to what do you call it? I don't know what's the word for it. To unjoin us or something like that, he can do that. But people think that it's okay to just go about and joining with every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there, and they're gonna be happy. Okay. Marriage is not something that you should take lightly and marry someone just because. If you don't know yours, this is why people say, I married when I was too young. I didn't know myself. Of course. This is why you're supposed to know yourself, but you're supposed to know yourself further than just knowing yourself on the physical. You're supposed to know yourself more on your physical, more by knowing your spirit form and your physical form and your purpose in the physical. Therefore, you're able to see that guy is on the same journey as me spiritually. I can marry that guy, or I can not necessarily marry the person, but you can be soul relationship with them. You can be with them. You shouldn't be forced to be married to someone. Yeah, you can have relations with people, but why should you go and bind yourself when God didn't bind you with that person in the first place? Everybody's looking for a soulmate. And people don't realize that almost everyone has some sort of a soulmate. They might not be romantic soulmates, but they could be your general soulmates. But they also serve a purpose. They can make you that happy. And if you nurture some relationship like that, if you nurture your relationship with a general soulmate, it can evolve into a romantic soulmate. Maybe not in this lifetime, but in the next lifetime, God would be like, okay, these two programs, I send them to what? To Earth or to wherever planet, to the physical environment to do a specific mission. And they were able to not disturb each other that way and run along each other. And they were not they were able to exist in the vicinity of each other. When this one runs, this one doesn't disturb the other one. Perhaps I could send them on a mission like this and they'll be able to work together. Why not? Or you could have just made the right decision to be with that person and you find that that person, and father has a reason, right? Like for me, some of these counterparts were not necessarily going to be there up until the end. They are my counterparts, but they don't necessarily have to be, like rom- um, romantic type of counterparts. They were also given an opportunity to see how well they will run with me. So antivirus tried to, when I wanted to leave them, that is antivirus and debug, antivirus tried to antivirus me. In his mind, he was like, you must have a virus. You must be sick, right? So they sort of like fed me this medicine that they called medicine, but it wasn't medicine. It was actually poison. That is, um, the imposter on the ship was giving them poison, saying to them it's a medicine that I'm supposed to take. And because of antivirus wants to fix a virus, wants to cure a virus, he came at me with that kind of spirit towards my program, defragmentation. So he was trying to force me to take this medication because he's an antivirus, right? He wants to get rid of the virus in me. I must have something wrong. Debugger, meanwhile, is busy using his power to make antivirus have a bug and behave more than what he's supposed. Forget himself that I'm his counterpart. So he was busy not debugging, but he was busy creating a bug situation in antivirus program. This is when we're having a fight, right? And don't think that father didn't know about all of this. He knew. He knew what was going to happen. But even if that happens, the guidance that you receive, if you're willing to receive guidance through that mission, that is that guidance that you receive, spiritual guidance that you receive from your spirit team, from God Himself, is actually an upgrade. To say, no, dear, in this situation, we act this way. We don't do this to this person. We do it that way. When you receive that guidance, you receive your upgrade, antivirus becomes a better person and therefore doesn't treat his counterpart as an someone who has a virus when they don't have a virus. And that way you're able to move forward together, right? In the spirit and in the physical. They had an opportunity for their own upgrades. They still do have an opportunity for their own upgrades. They still have a opportunity to work with me and get their upgrades properly. And the same thing with debugger, they have an issue. They have a karmic issue, a karmic lesson between the two of them. That is antivirus and debugger. I have a karmic situation between both of them, or is it between me and debugger? We all have our karmic lessons that we have to learn within, the group. Karmic debts as well that we have to repay. So it is what it is. No sweat. It's not the end of the world. It happens, right? And if we don't get it right this time, we'll probably get another mission or another opportunity in another mission, and we perfect that. And then we ascend as both two programs who are spiritually strong enough to be together. And who knows? And defragmentation might come back with next time when they do the next upgrade. Who knows? Maybe defragmentation might come back with antivirus installed already on it and debugger already in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like father could join defragmentation program with antivirus and completely like as one. Maybe call it a different tool. Call it, I don't know, some other name of, I don't know what he would call it. It's not going to be defragmentation, antivirus, whatever. He will probably give it some God name. You know how Father likes to give names. He will give it some name that will sound like this is a much bigger program. You know, like we would be one. That is, it will be one spirit combined. But that is the reason for that purpose of me and my counterparts joining like that. But the question is, when people are joining here in the physical, is this a blessed join? Is it blessed by the creator himself, the universe? Or is it just you forcing it because you're 35 and you need to get married soon? You're supposed to have relations with people and just be happy. And if you have a counterpart, a divine counterpart in your purpose, you will find that out. If you walk in your purpose, you will find who that person is. And you get to discover yourself and him or her. And you get to discover your mission together. You're joining. What's the purpose of your joining? Like I'm discovering it, that I know that Father wanted to see if he can bring these programs together at some stage for whatever mission, how well they will work together. And it is going to happen when it needs to happen. You know why? Because we are in we're running and we're getting our upgrades up until the point, right? When we come back again, we're going to come back and do that same mission or do whatever it is that we need to go through. We will be better. We would have received some sort of upgrades in the last lifetime. And then when we come back again, it's like a test. It's like a test environment. I was actually not sure, but I think physical environment is a test environment. This is why you're being tested. You know when they say God is testing, God, God will test you. Of course, we are being tested in this environment. Because I used to have a problem with that wording, right? Like, why am I being tested so much? Am I not like done with this testing? I'm being tested just like everybody else is being tested. And this is a test environment. This is a test environment. The real environment is the physical, is the spiritual environment. Here it's where you go coming in to get yourself tested and you get your upgrades as well. Therefore you move through the sacred timeline and you ascend through the spiritual ladder through that sacred timeline, and you become a God program when you reach your divinity state. And when you come back, you have to come back with some sort of a mission again if you want to, if you are signed for it. And you approach them, they say, okay, we need you to go to this specific planet to do this thing. Do you think you can do it? It's like, okay, yeah, I'll go in. Everybody had to agree to come here. You agree. You agree to come here. They say, okay, can you come? Yeah. All right, you work with this person and this person. This is where they say you're making soul contracts. You meet those people. Some of the soul contracts that I had to make, I had to be in the physical, spiritually so, and make a soul contract with, what's his name again? Storage. Yes. I met him in the spiritual world, in a spiritual, as a spirit. I met him there, and he had to agree whether or not he can be with me in this mission. I met what's his name as well, troubleshooter as well, and I didn't meet recycle being because recycle being comes as part of storage. He's also storage, right? So did I meet recycle being? No. So storage made the deal for both of them in a way. They're twin flame or something like that. And these are two guys. Yes, you can have twin flames as two guys. They are twin flames. Just like my ex has a twin flame, and it's a male, and humans will call him gay. In this physical world, he will be called gay because he's split into two. He has a program, one program. It's one soul split into two. He has a twin flame and a soulmate, I think, or either a twin flame or a soulmate, something like that. But I think it's his twin flame. I think it's his twin flame. It's up to him to discover himself, right? Whether it's a twin flame connection or it's a soulmate connection or it's a counterpart connection. And yeah. And you can have that marriage with various programs. That join can be done in a various way and with various programs. But not necessarily always. It can also be done in such a way that it's not a always kind of a situation, but just for a specific mission. And then you split up when you're done with the mission. But you'll always recognize each other wherever you are. If you come into the physical and that person is in the physical as well, you'll be like, I have soul recognition of this person. I remember this person. I feel like I know this person. I've met a lot of people where I feel like I know this person. Yeah. So no, marriage is not it's not a thing. I asked some at some stages, like, is there a place in the Bible where they're talking about marriage? For marriage to be such a thing, and you hardly find scenarios of marriages and stuff. There is a wedding. I think Jesus went to a wedding when he turned water into wine. Yeah, he did. He did. But it's not everybody's supposed to be married. And not necessarily that it's not everybody's supposed to be married. People need to be mindful of who they marry, because it cannot just be, it has to be, when you do get to have to be married, it must be with someone who was chosen for you to be married to, was programmed for you to be married to, or at least they are part of your soul mission or soul whatever, so that it's not such a mission for you to be together. It's supposed to have some sort of not necessarily problems, but those problems are supposed to be what's the word, fulfilling for you. It's like whatever problems are there is to elevate you, is to help you grow, to help you expand, not to diminish you and diminish your purpose and for your program. They're supposed to make you a better person, because this is why you're in this environment, right? To be tested. And as you're tested and you grow, you become a better person because of you are in a marriage, then that is a good marriage. But if you're not becoming a better person because you're in a marriage and you're drinking yourself to a stupor and you cheating and you're doing all kinds of things, you need to sit down and ask yourself, are you with the right person? Are you with the right program? Are you in the same soul mission? Because one person might be doing some other thing there and you are doing some other thing there, and you wonder why things just don't meet somewhere. I'm not saying I'm not going to have issues with my counterparts. Oh, if anything, we had great issues. They killed me. One of them killed me, right? Because of he was trying to take out the virus. And he can't kill me. I had to give up. I had to give up and be like, I can't be this. He can't kill me, but I gave up. I decided to leave the environment in that way. I just allowed the poison to take over the body. That's all I did. because I had to fight and fight, and I could see that they will never open their eyes unless I'm not here. So therefore, I had to stop fighting the virus. I mean, they tried that shit on me here on the physical, right? They've been poisoning me left, right, and center and doing all kinds of things. I'm used to poisoning. These fuckers don't know this. But anyway, I've been poisoned many times before, daily, so with medication, so-called medication, poisoning, until I decided, you know what, I can fight this poison every day, but I'm tired of fighting this person. He's not gonna see me until I'm gone. And that's when he saw, when I decided to allow the medicine to, the poison to take the body, to shut down the body. And then I left the body. And then Father was like, well, you got, when I decided to continue the mission alone, he's like, so you can go and get a body somewhere, or you can use your sewing body because it's still good. It hasn't been like, I haven't been dead for a long time. I was like, I'm not going to go and take a body out there that I don't know. I want my body. And I went back into my body. And then I ran. Right? I was like, ew, me wearing someone else's body. Heck no. I just used my own body. Went back into my old body. I woke up and had to run fast, because as soon as I went back into my body and I woke up, they knew. They were not in the same room with me, but they were in the ship and they just felt me coming back and they came rushing. But then I had to run. I had to run. I had to get in and get out. But yeah, that is the fun stuff. What is the purpose is the question. What's the purpose of you being with this person? Right? What's the purpose of you being in this relationship with this person? Because it's supposed to benefit you some way and benefit your mission and your purpose in some way. It's like, you know what, we've been together, me and this woman. I love her so much. I cannot imagine my life without her. But we've been through so much, and I'm glad I went through what I went through because of where I am today. I cannot change. I don't want to change anything about what we went through up until this point. That's when you know that, you know what, you probably were with the right person, because they happen to help you some way. I'm being called to talk about karmic relationships as well in this marriage, karmic lesson. So when I was in heaven, when Father was doing the planning of the mission, he comes back and he's like frustrated, and you can see that he's frustrated. And I'm like, what's wrong? Mother's also looking at him like, what's wrong? It's like, there was some of my brothers, they were back from some mission. Some of my brothers were there with us at home, and he's like, they tricked and forced my counterpart, Storage, I think, to marry somebody else. And I was like, so what now? I'm not gonna be waiting for this guy. How the heck did he get himself married to somebody else? Father's like, don't worry. And I'm like, what are you gonna do? Is like, I'm finally gonna take care of all these karmic relationships. Mother looked at him and is like, but I thought you didn't want to do that. It's like, you're the one who wanted to do this, right? Because that was Mother's request. As part of my mission, he said, we need to get the karmic relationships separated. Father needed to also do the separation of karmic relationships. That is, karmic marriages, karmic connections, whatever relationship. And Father's way of doing it was, Father sometimes. And I'm like, how are you going to do that? It's like, I'm going to use you. And I'm like, is that a good idea? It's like, don't worry. It will work, because of the energy I am, I'm able to do that. And I'm like, so he was going to use me and my counterpart. right? I don't know which counterpart. He said you and your counterpart. At the time, I didn't ask too many questions. But what he was going to do was he was going to make me so appealing to anybody who's in a karmic relationship to leave that karmic relationship. Because I'm bringing healing, right? Me being defragmentation. I'm going to just defragment the person and the environment as I go, right? That's what he meant. It didn't mean it doesn't like, but that's exactly what it means. In the physical is that people are going to find themselves attracted to me, and if they can be attracted to me, it means that is a karmic relationship. They're not going to be able to withstand that karmic relationship. But if they don't get attracted to me, that is, I'm not able to fragment and defragment that connection, that relationship, because of it's solid. It's supposed to be that way. That's how Father planned it. Then it's fine. Then it will continue. But if it's not fitting, because my job is to make a block solid, and if I try to make that relationship solid and it's not connecting and fitting together to become solid, it will split. And he's going to do that by just me being me and me walking around and people seeing me. I don't have to be in those relationships. I don't even have to know you. You're just going to see someone and be like, oh, that woman, that woman, there's something about that woman. That will indicate to you that there's something wrong with where you are now. This is why I'm able to draw you away from your partner, your karmic partner, because it's a karmic relationship. I am more of a healer, so I'm going to heal that relationship. You or your partner, I'm going to heal you or your partner. Okay, I'm going to heal you. Let's say you're a male, right, or masculine, and you're going to be attracted to the feminine. And as for my partner on the other end, my counterpart, he's going to be attracting females as well. And I was like, Father, I don't know if, because apparently my partner or my counterpart is like a very jealous person. And I'm like, are you sure this is a good idea, me having that? He's like, don't worry, you'll have the protection. You don't know how Father does this thing. Sometimes you're like, but he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And I was like, and what am I supposed to do with all these honeybees, all up in my counterpart, I think what he said to me was that you're going to have to like learn that it's just the way it is. They're not going to get near him like that. And he's like that he won't be able to move away from you in that way as well. It's like our connection, our healing connection as well. We're going to be attracted to each other because it's not a karmic relationship. So he's not going to be able to see anybody else, and I'm not going to be able to see anybody else. However, other people will be able to see us. And I think he said something like, and if he ever does, it means he's not the right person. And he was not like kidding. It's like, I'm gonna deal with this karmic relationships once and for all. And we're like, mother's like, wait, I thought you said that you will do that later. And it's like, you're the one who wanted this. It's like, I'm doing it now, okay? He was upset. Let me put it that way. He was not happy. He was on a mission. And he's just sat down on his machine. And I'm like, okay. We were looking at each other. I think even my brothers were like, are you sure that's what you want to do? It's like, I'm going to do that. They were also helping me with something, and I don't remember what we were doing, me and my brothers. What were we doing? We were looking at something about the mission, on the mission. I don't remember what we were doing. But when Father walked in like that, we were like, what is going on? And he had like a couple of words to say and sat down and started working. So these karmic relationships are going to be split. When I heal the environment, I have no There's no choice. Not that I have no choice, but the program has no choice but to split any block that does not fit together. Because the job of this program, that is defragmentation, is to bring the system into solid state. And I bring that by bringing each and every block into solid state. And if you're not in solid state, even in union with other blocks or your counterpart or whoever, you're going to be split. That's the function. That's how it works. You're going to be split from that person. And it is what it is. And people are going to, yeah, they're not gonna, but it's a good thing, because once you split those karmic connections spiritually, because mother is the one who takes care of our spirits as well. She's like, it's kind of difficult to, not difficult, but it becomes a mission for her to take care of the spiritual side of things if there's a lot of karmic relationships on earth. It's like she's trying to guide you towards your spirit, but you're busy with, you're going well, you're doing well, but you're busy connected or with someone karmic. So expect a lot of divorces. And the church will be like, you don't divorce, and you don't wonder why. It's because of, when you divorce, you're essentially breaking that uh, um, what do you want to call it? The defragmentation program of theirs. If you divorce, you're getting away from a karmic situation, right? And they don't want you there in outside of a karmic situation, because the karmic situation will fragment you always, right? They know when they get you guys married that they know that they have put you in a karmic situation for the rest of your life, unless you're that strong and ignore this person, right? So that's another way of them making sure that they have, fragmented people throughout their lives, and fragmented children as well, because these people are creating children in karmic environments, and they wonder why these children become karmic from an early age, right? And with the union split, mother is able to guide each and every individual, and father as well. They're able to guide each and every individual on their path. Don't worry about the children. They are also going to be looked after. They have their own paths as well that they're going to take to do what they need to do. Everybody's going to be fine. This thing of, oh, there's no divorce. If divorce is a sin, like I say, upside down, they swap things around. Karmic relationship is the same. That is marriage, especially to a karmic person or karmic connection in called marriage here on earth, because you could be in a marriage and not be in a karmic situation, but the marriage itself, the concept of marriage, was to create karmic connections. It's to create karmic connections, and divorce is to not get. This is why when you try to divorce someone, they turn them away from court many times, unless if you're rich, then you're able to pay them so that you can split with this person. But if you can't afford it, they'll just keep you fragmented. It's like, go back home. You'll come back after 6 months, talk about it, and come back after 6 months. That's what they do to people. I don't know how many people I've heard who are trying to divorce, and they'll be like, no, the court said we should give it another 6 months. And I think some of them are being given another 6 months after another 6 months. It's business for them. They like you like that. It's energy business for them. When you're being fragmented every day by your wife or your husband, that energy is in the atmosphere. They're able to use that energy for their own things. So yeah. But those relationships, when I come in and I run and I build these blocks again, split them apart and break them up and then build them again, you won't have that connection with that person. You look at them and be like, I don't know this person. You'll be healed because you'll look at it and it's like, what am I doing here? What's this? Who's this? It's like you're married to her. It's like, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are. And you wouldn't want to stay there. They'll be like, you'll lose everything. You'll be like, that's fine. Because you'll be awake. You'll know that everything in the physical is not everything. And whatever it is that you're going to lose, your house, your money, whatever, you can buy that back within a month or two if you allow the universe to show you how to get that. You can work yourself from there to go up. I don't have anything. Not that I don't have anything, but I mean, I've lost a lot of things. But I know that, like I said, I know that I have a lot of things. I have a lot of wealth. It's not time for me to access that yet because I need to be in a specific environment in order for me to be able to access that, to finally get my things, because of I'm currently with piranhas. Vampires, all these blood suckers, not blood suckers, energy suckers, energy vampires. That's what they call them. And Father doesn't want me to get my gifts and my things while I'm still in this environment. I'm still on mission. I'm in a mission environment. I'm still doing something here. I'm still working on something. And when I'm done with this environment, yes, I will get to enjoy some form of peace and get my things back. Before I went into awakening, I had a dream. Father said, you're going to go through a lot. It's going to be tough. It's going to be scary. You're going to go through a lot with your sister. And you're going to lose everything. But don't worry. When it's finished, you're going to gain back everything you've lost and more. I told this to my sister. She didn't comment much and just looked away. But now I realize why. But the funny thing is she never understood. She heard that, but she still ignored that. I would tell her all these visions that I had. And yeah, here we are. I'm not even in a rush for those things. It's like I just want to be able to do the minimal things, like be able to have small things. But I also feel like I wanted a phone and I wanted a laptop, and I'm like, not in this environment. I don't want to have too many things in this environment. I'm very happy without a lot of things, because whenever I start thinking about having all those things back, I'm like, yes, now I'm going to be struggling with paying rents and fixing cars and insurances and all this bullshit. I hope that's not part of what I'm going to when I have to go back into normal environments, because I was at peace. I'm very much at peace. I don't need a lot. I'm happy with the little. I'm happy with small things. Small things make me happy. It's like you realize how much of garbage you've been carrying. This physical rubbish that you think is worth everything. You realize how insignificant that shit is. It's very much insignificant. I always said, these things you can acquire in a month or two. You can lose everything, right? Everything, every single thing, and just be left with the clothes on your back. And you walk around with the clothes on your back for months, let's say for 2 months, or a month, or a week. Let's just say a week. And everybody thinks, oh my goodness, that person has lost everything and whatnot. Let's say a month, not a week. And then the next month after that, let's say you find money. Somebody dropped some money on the ground, and you take that money and you're like, something tells you, go play lotto. And you go and play lotto, right? And that lotto wins. right? Mega millions, whatever millions. And you're like, interesting, right? And then in that month, you go and buy the better stuff than what you had before. And people are looking at you and be like, what? How? Wait, how? How did this happen? This is how the physical world, how easy it is to build all those things back. But your spirituality, it's something that you need to be working on to get to. And you also can't lose it once you get it, by the way. Once we all remember who we are and what we're supposed to be doing here, you won't be able to forget it again. Well, except if someone like Uncle Omen comes and fucks this world up again. But I think we would have learned our lesson, right? We shouldn't be allowing people like them to do whatever they want, right? But it will be easier next time when somebody says, oh, you're a program. You'll believe it for what it is. You'll be like, yeah, of course I remember my program. And the funny thing is, there are people who remember, who know this. They try to tell me. It's like, why do we let this child run around not knowing who she is? Right? And some of them tried it and they were killed. Some of them were warned not to say anything. Some of them who said, heck no, we're going to tell her, they're not alive today. Because I wasn't supposed to wake up. They thought I wasn't going to wake up. I wasn't supposed to wake up and defragment the environment because I'm basically putting them out of business. Apparently, they're kind of pissed. Not even pissed. They don't have a fucking right to be pissed. I have a right to be fucking pissed with the shit that they did to me. They don't have a fucking right to even think my direction or getting even some sort of PC. Oh, I'm pissed. Fuck you. And that goes to Uncle Old Man as well. Lovingly so. What can I do? His family, right? Goodness, these people. Just like these ones I am living with on the physical environment. It's like, oh, goodness. But I'm kind of like, I can't wait to see them go through their karma. They're going to think, oh, this is the worst thing that ever happened to us. And I'm like, yeah. You're getting it, huh? It's nice, huh? Yeah. No, I'm laughing at them. I'm not going to be like, oh, you can't laugh at them. I am laughing at them. Like, yeah, how do you like it now? Right then I will be like pulling them apart and picking them apart. It's like, no, I don't think I did it. I unpacked you and pecked you, right? Come here and peck them and peck them and peck them and peck them again. It's like, oh no. It's like, yeah, how do you like it now? I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I'm not kidding. They deserve it in a sense of they all deserve to be well. I'm healing them, right? I'm healing them. That's what I'm doing. Unfortunately for them, they've got so much fucking karma, it's gonna be painful. But they'll be better. They'll be good. Eventually, they'll be good. They don't have a choice. They're gonna be okay. They have to be okay. They'll be good. I'm watching them as I today. Hey, it's this environment. People, it's a mess. I'm watching my uncle. He's losing things every day. He's losing something. My grandmother wakes up. She doesn't know where she is. Yes, she might be old, but I feel like more is going on with her. I'm looking at them and I'm like, hey, yeah, shit has started. Shit is going down. It's a party. I'm looking at them and they're very bad. They think they're good pretenders. And I'm looking at them, it's like, yeah, whatever. Pretend all you like. I'm also a good actor. I'm also acting. I'm pretending. Well, I'm not pretending. I don't like pretending. I'm just being myself. I am this way even before they did the shit to me. And this is what, you know, mind fucks them because I'm still the same person, although I'm not tolerant of bullshit, but I still smile. I still talk with them in a way that I used to. Well, except when they come with their BS. I'm still okay. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I do get my anger every once in a while, right? But I don't keep that shit for long. And that's the problem. It's like they're looking at me and they're like, she's still okay, so it can be happening. They're in the mode of it can be happening. She's still smiling, she's still okay. So what we're seeing or what we're feeling can't be really happening. It can't be her, you know? And I'm like, dude, people, it's your problem. I don't care what you're going through. It's really not my business anymore. I'm just running me. I'm running my program. Their program is not my business. Well, it is my business in the sense of I need to defragment their programs, fragment and defragment their programs. It's only that. I'm just being me. I'm just running my program as I need to run my program. And it's not about feelings and stuff, right? It's not. Their feelings are not my issue. They should manage their own feelings. And I'll manage my own feelings. I've been learning to do that. I wasn't good at it. I had to learn, just like everybody else is going to have to learn. And we're going to be healed. We're all going to be good and be healed. And be healed from karmic relationships as well. Be it your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, whoever. And it's going to be a good day. Okay, it's time for me to go and cook, make some soup today. I don't know why I wanted to have soup, but I think I'd love some soup. Tired of eating the same old thing. I want to make it taste good. Yeah.